All right, so hi, good evening, Camila, Rodrigo, Reader. Thanks for being here on time. I'm going to start today's class with you three. All right, let me see, perhaps there's more. No, it's the three of you first. So, uh, today we're going to do the following. First, we're going to work on Pearson. I'm going to assign this week's assignments related to Unit 3. I'm going to show you some of your scores to see how you're doing. That's the first thing. Then we are going to work on today's lesson, which it's going to be future conditional. All right. It's very simple. Perhaps all of you already covered this before. If that's the case, I'm going to try to make you practice, all right, in a certain way. But it's important to practice this because this is Pearson's content. And finally, we're going to watch a video related to Valentine, all right, to Valentine's Day, which is today, and some people celebrate it, some people don't, but it's important perhaps to know about its origins. And that's it, okay? That's what we're going to do today. So let's start with Pearson, as I told you. In Pearson, first, let's take a look at your grades, how you're doing, how's everything going for you, all right? So that's it. This is the average score of your assignments. I think most of you have been doing a great job. If you haven't completed everything, it's not by a lot, so you're doing great. All right, keep working like that. And also on the quizzes, all of you took both quizzes. If you don't have a very high score, you still have the chance to improve, but in general, you're doing very good. Okay, so here you can compare a little bit, right, your score with your partners to see if you can even do better. Now, I'm going to assign, as I usually do, today is Monday, so the third unit, all right? That's what we have to do this week. Everything, as always, you know that you can start today if you want. It's going to be for Friday, 11:59 p.m. There you go, Friday the 18th, 11:59 p.m. As always, you have two attempts, right? In case you forgot about something or it was not clear and you ask me questions, and the next day you can do it again. And the model as always. That's it. Okay, so everything is set on Pearson. If you have any questions about Pearson, let me know so that we can go to the next part. No? All right. So I'm closing this one then, and we are going to work the new lesson. To do it, I'm sharing as always. This is a new week, so we have a new file. The link is in the chat. You can go there to write some examples to start today's practice. And as I told you, it's going to be future conditional. But then, as always, I'm going to ask you questions. The first one is going to be for you, please, a reader. All right, reader, this is for you. What do you understand when you read future conditional? What's the thing that comes to your mind? And if you know about this tense, let me know, please. Perhaps you're doing something, let me. Okay, don't worry. Thanks for letting me know, reader. Then I'm going to work with you, Rodrigo. All right, let's start with you, this one, please, Rodrigo. The same question, future conditional. What comes to your mind when you read this idea? And if you know this tense and this structure, you can give me an example. What do you say?
It's like an action that I will do if pass something, maybe.
Okay, good. That one, the last, it's very good, but instead of that expression, it's better if you say, if something happens, right? If something happens. Good, very good. Something will happen if something else happens, right? That's the idea of future conditional. Camila, can you give us one example of that conditional following Rodrigo's idea? What do you say?
It can be, for example, if we travel tomorrow, we are going to be in Paris at the afternoon.
Okay, Thank you very much. Right. So you're using the condition. What is the condition? Traveling tomorrow, right? So if we travel tomorrow, the result in the future is that we will arrive, or we are going to arrive, or we are going to be, right, in Paris. And it will be, remember, for periods of time, it will be in the afternoon, right? In the afternoon. So good, good. We have one condition in present and the result in future. All right, this is the one of the most simple conditional structures that we have. Then we're going to learn past conditional, past real conditional, past unreal conditional, present unreal conditional. All right, there are many conditions, but this is the first one, and it's important that all of you understand this very well. Sorry, my microphone. So as I was saying, so the first question is this one, and it's going to be for you. Let me see who else is here. And Mauricio, how can you answer this question? What will happen if you don't study for the test?
If I don't study for the test, I will have a bad score.
Okay, okay, good, good. That's the structure. Very well. Thank you, Mauricio. Great. If I don't study for the test, I will get, or I will have, right, a bad score, or I will fail the test, or I will fail the course, or many other ideas that you have, right? Good. This question is in the future conditional structure. What will happen? Result, if you don't study, condition. Very simple. Let's read the introduction with you, please. Joanna, let's read this slide, please.
There are at least two types of conditional clause, but today we'll take a look on only one of them. Future conditional show us how one addiction in the present really is going to have a consequence in the future.
Thank you very much, Joanna. Before leaving these three words, please, this one is going to be list. List.
List.
Good. This one, as it's plural, so it's going to be clauses. Clauses.
Clauses.
Clauses. Good. And this one, just don't forget about the S. So it's going to be shows. Shows.
Shows.
There you go. Thank you, Joanna. So, future conditional. All right, this is part of the four main types of conditional clauses. But again, today we're going to take a look at one that is future conditional. And again, an action related to the present or future. The structure is very simple. We're going to read the structure, the formula, and the first example. And that's going to be for you. Let me just mark this first. Okay, so the formula and the first example, and this is for you, please, Gilbert. Let's read that, please, Gilbert.
The formula if plus simple present plus or.
In this case, it's going to be affirmative or negative. All right, it's something different.
Affirmative or negative, comma, plus future tense. Affirmative or negative will be going to. Example, if I stay here, I won't be able to finish my task.
Thank you, Gilbert. So, as Camila used right in her example, it can be with be going to, or it can also be with will. All right, it's going to be more common to find these ideas with will, but both of these structures work perfectly. So if I stay here, simple present, affirmative or negative, comma, the result in future. I won't be able to finish my tasks. Number 2 and number 3 are going to be for you, the Rodrigo. Let's read the following two examples, please.
If I stay here, I won't be able to finish my tasks. If she still feels bad, she's going to go to the doctor. They don't complete the assignments, they fail the course.
Thank you, Rodrigo. So there you go, right? Condition, affirmative or negative, in present, comma, result in future. That's it. That's everything you need to form the future conditional. Again, it's not hard. So let's start practicing, please. To do it, I already shared the link, but I'm going to do it again. This is the link one more time in the chat for the new file. So please, you know what to do. Go there, write your names, okay? And write 2 examples, please. One example in which your ideas are affirmative, okay? If simple present affirmative, future affirmative. And one example in which your ideas are negative, all right? If simple present negative, comma, future negative. All right, let's do it, please, in that way. Only 2 examples, one affirmative and one negative, following this formula, please. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, we're going to have 2 minutes to do it, please.
Teacher,
Yes, tell me, Joanna.
mm, can you make one box for it para escribir?
Okay, let me see. Can you write in the document, right? Over here. Okay, I'm going to do it, Joanna. I got it. Over here, there you go. All right, good. 1, all right, 2. There you go, Joanna. You can write over there. Okay, so let's check this because it's also 2 minutes. Some of you already have this. So Camila, let's start with you, please. Let's read your 2 ideas.
Okay. If we decide to eat here, we will be sick by tomorrow for sure. If Alexandra doesn't show up for the rehearsal, she's going to be in trouble.
Okay, thank you very much, Camila. Great. Again, the only little thing, remember, this is going to be something that Pearson is going to penalize if you use capital letter after that comma, right? But that's the only thing. I think everything is working very well, Camila. I don't know if you have any questions besides that one. You're using will and you're using be going to. Now, okay, it's okay. In the first one, both are affirmative. And in the second one, just for practicing, Camila, what can you do in the result with be going to make it negative? What can you do to have a negative result as well?
Maybe I can change the result. For example, this can be if Alexandra doesn't show up for the rehearsal, she won't be able to act.
Okay, good, right? She won't be able to perform perhaps, right, in the play. Great. That's it, Camila. Any questions or comments? Let me know, please.
No, teacher, everything is clear.
Okay, thank you. There you go. That's the first one. Also, I think I have yours here. Hey, Rodrigo, yes. Let's read your ideas, please, Rodrigo.
If I work very hard, I will buy the things that I want. If she doesn't wake up early, she's going to arrive late at the school.
Okay, thank you, Rodrigo. Great. The same ideas over here. It's okay, right? This I always with capital letters. Sometimes in Pearson, that can be negative for the score. This one also, lowercase letter, and this one, right? All of that, only lowercase letter. So as I was saying to Camila, Rodrigo, this is just for practicing because it seems to be okay. But in number 2, if she doesn't wake up early, what result can you tell me? You can change the result, Rodrigo, to tell me something in negative, with be going to, but in negative. What do you say?
She's not going to arrive on time.
Okay, yes, it seems good, right? It's the same logic. We're only changing that to negative, right? She's not going to arrive on time, or she's not going to be on time, or she is not going to something that is related to the previous one. That's it, Rodrigo. Thank you very much. If you have any questions about this one so far, let me know, please, Rodrigo.
Not teacher.
Okay. Thank you. Mauricio, you also have yours. Let's check them, please.
If we don't go to the presentation, we will miss Daniela's first show. And the second one, if I start the homework today, I will finish it until Thursday.
Thank you, Mauricio. Again, just for practicing, we're going to check that preposition. But besides doing that, Mauricio, in number 2, how can you change that idea so that both the condition and the result are negative? What can you do to change them to negative, Mauricio? Just for practice.
If I don't start the homework today, I will not finish it until Thursday.
Okay, great. Let's make that change, all right? Let's work in that way. Now, here the correction for by, I think it's not incorrect to say until. Usually you're going to use until when you give a specific time, right? So you say you're going to start today and you have until tomorrow to finish, right? And you have until tomorrow to finish. Sometimes when you only mention the last thing that is going to happen, is better in English to say by. It means that you're going to finish before that time, okay? But again, it's not incorrect, it's only something extra, Mauricio. I don't know if you have any questions about this.
No, teacher, it was about the underline word that it suggests me to put by.
Exactly, right? Until is better when you have a start period of time and a finish period of time. When it's not, sometimes in English, it's better to use by. But again, in this context, if you're telling me that until that day and you can finish that day, it will work as well. It's only that because of the context, you don't have the first period of time. It's better to use by in that situation. All right?
Okay, teacher.
All right. Thank you very much, Mauricio. Then it's done. Gilbert, let's read yours, please, Gilbert.
If I stay here, I won't be at the party in time. If they don't go to the stadium, they want to be able to watch the game.
Okay, thank you very much, Gilbert. Great. Again, we're going to work only one thing in number 1. Again, this is just for practicing. If I say here, future, won't be. Great. If they don't go, good, they won't be able. Very good. Now, in number one, Gilbert, what can you change in the result here so that your result is also affirmative, Gilbert? If I stay here, comma, what affirmative result can you give me over there, Gilbert?
Yeah, I stay.
If I stay here, comma, what result in the future can be affirmative?
I want to be. I say be at the party time.
You can change one thing to make it, you can keep the same idea, Gilbert. And again, your example is good. Okay, this is just for practicing, but you may say this perhaps. You can say, if I stay here, comma, I will be late, perhaps, to keep the same idea, right? I won't be at the party in time.
Okay.
So instead of that one, you can say, I will be late. It's the same idea, but what we're doing here is using affirmative, just for practicing here. All right, do you have any questions? Let me know, please.
No.
Okay, thank you. Adriana, let's continue with you, please. Read your two ideas.
If I do my home prayer, I will go to a party. If she doesn't buy cheese, she won't cook it.
Okay, good. We're following also the idea, affirmative, negative. I think I have no observations. Adriana, do you have any questions or comments?
No, teacher.
All right, thank you. Joanna, let's continue with you, please.
If I don't arrive on time, I won't be able to take the bus. If my sister study hard, she is going to be the best her class.
All right, the last part, we're going to change that one, right? But good. I don't, negative. We're going to learn that one, Joanna, but it's good. If I don't arrive on time, I won't be able to take the bus. Very good. Number two, if my sister study, but remember your sister, Joanna, is third person, right? So it's going to be studies. If my sister studies hard or harder, any of those, it's correct, okay? Harder, hard is also good. She is going to be the best. You can say directly in her class or of her class, but in her class would be okay. It means in Spanish, it can also mean like de su clase. All right, in her class. So you can say she's the best in the world. She's the best in the class. She's the best in the country, in Bolivia. All right, in and the idea. But that's it, Joanna. Your examples are very good, but no, it's okay. Negative, affirmative, Joanna. Do you have any questions? Let me know, please.
Not teacher.
Okay, thank you, Joanna. And reader, this time I'm going to read yours, right? You already told me. So it says, if you eat a lot of junk food, you will gain weight. Affirmative. Now negative. If you don't train every day, great, you won't be able to run the marathon. Great. That's it. No observations, reader. Thank you very much to all of you. And yes, everything is done. Let's go now to the next part then. Inversion. If you realize every time you work with clauses, almost every time, you have two options, the standard order, right, or the inversion. The inversion is exactly the same, but the only thing that is different is that first, you start with your future idea, and then you go to the result. That's the only difference. So, this is going to be for you, please. Camila, let's read the formula and the first example, please.
Future tense, positive or negative, will be going to, will or be going to, plus if, plus simple present in affirmative or negative. Examples. I won't be able to finish my task if I stay here.
Thank you, Camila. So the main difference here, you need to pay attention to that here. If you, as you can see, you don't use commas, right? You don't say, I won't be able to finish my tasks, comma, if I stay here. No, no comma here, all right? If the future clause is at the beginning and if the if clause is at the end, don't use commas, all right? So I won't be able to finish my tasks if I stay here. No punctuation marks, only, of course, the period, right? That's the only thing. So these are the same examples, but just to have an idea of this inversion, please, Mauricio, let's read these two examples with you.
2 and 3, teacher.
Yes, that's right. Number 2 and 3, please. I think your microphone is off now, Mauricio. Now it should work. Now we can listen to you.
She's going to go to the doctor if she still feels bad. They will fail the course if they don't complete the assignments.
Thank you, Mauricio. So again, the only thing you have to see here is very simple, that in inversions, you don't use commas, and in inversions, you start with the future idea and you finish up with the condition in present. That's it. Future if present. Future if present. And again, your future idea can be affirmative or negative, and the condition can be affirmative or negative, right? It's exactly the same. And again, this is going to be just for practicing and so that you have that registered in the file. So to do so, please, if you have any questions, you can let me know. If not, before working with the practice that I have for you, all right, we're going to work with some practice today. Let's write, please, the same. 2 examples in this inversion, and this time it can be in the way you want, all right? They can be affirmative, negative, it's up to you. Just write 2 examples and try to play one example with will and one with be going to. That's it, guys. Let's do it, please. Again, 2 minutes and we check. Any questions, just let me know. All right, so in 20 more seconds, we're going to check. Let's remember 2 examples using this inversion. Future if present. All right, so it's about to be time. There you go. So let's check, please. I'm going to see how you're doing. I'm going to check your ideas and give you some review and corrections if you need them. Let's begin with you, please, Rodrigo. Let's read your 2 ideas with inversion, please.
I will travel this year if I complete my thesis. She's not going to be able to work if she doesn't take care of herself.
Very good. Thank you, Rodrigo. Great. Right? You have future, present, first with will, then would be going to, and everything seems to work great. Also, you're using reflexive pronouns, right? Taking care of yourself. And that's very good, Rodrigo. Thank you very much. The next one, please, Mauricio. Let's go to work with yours, please, Mauricio.
Rose will not get the visa if she doesn't have enough money. I will get into troubles if I don't finish my responsibilities at work.
Okay, thank you very much, Mauricio. All right, just 2 details. All right, let's check those 2 details. In the first one, in number 4, usually, not all the time, all right, but usually travel is used as a non-countable idea, but mainly in the expression get into trouble. All right, usually it's going to be only like travel, like that. Even though it's a lot of problem, all right, a lot of problems that you're having, it doesn't matter. The idea of travel like gets the idea that one thing or many things, all right? And then it's okay to say, it's more like Spanish to say finish responsibilities. It's not incorrect in English, all right? It's not incorrect, but it's better if you say to finish my task or my tasks or something like that, all right? Something that gives the idea that it's your responsibility. But if you say in English sometimes finish your responsibilities, it's going to be like understood in a different way. Okay, it's not incorrect, but it's better if you use task or tasks, and Mauricio. That's it. I don't know if you have questions about that one.
No, teacher.
All right, thank you. There you go. Camila, let's continue with you, please.
She's going to graduate from school if she approves all her exams. I will travel to Belgium if I save enough money by the end of the year.
All right. Thank you very much, Camila. Again, I think they are working great. These are very good examples, and we're following all the ideas that we need to follow, Camila. I don't have any observations. Thank you very much. Gilbert, let's continue with you, please.
She won't be able to go to a party if I don't finish my homework. She will go to the party if she behave with.
Okay, just this one, be careful. This is going to be behaves. One more time, this word, please.
Behave.
Behaves. Good. Thank you, Gilbert. So, future, I won't be able to go to the park if I don't finish my homework. And she will go to the party if she behaves well. That's it. Thank you, Gilbert. I think it's working good. I don't have observations. Adriana, let's continue with you, please.
He will play in the Olympic Games if he trains every day. She won't work here if she doesn't finish her career.
Okay, thank you, Adriana. Again, no observations. I think it's working very good. And Joanna, let's go with you, please, Joanna.
She will go to university if she pass the course. I'm going to go again to doctor if my doctor attends tomorrow.
Thank you, Joanna. All right, let's check only some details here. Here, it's better if you say to the university. All right, she will go to the university if this is going to be with double S. All right, if he passes, double S. Then this is good, very good, number 1, great. Now in number 2, just here, remember the apostrophe. I'm going to go to the doctor. Again, it's better if you say first this one. I'm going to go to the doctor. All right, and at the end you can say if you want again. All right, I'm going to go to the doctor again. If my doctor, now this one, attend is not like atender, like in Spanish, right? It's not that one. Attend means to be present in a place, right? Estar en un lugar. But here, what do you want to say here, Joanna? Atender de ofrecer sus servicios? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
All right. So directly, all right, in English, it's better if you say, if my doctor works tomorrow, something like that. All right, if my doctor works tomorrow, or if my doctor, let's say another one, or if my doctor's office, all right, is open tomorrow. That's another option in English. All right, if my doctor's is opened tomorrow. That will be, those are some suggestions, all right? And this one, just that one. Those are suggestions, please, Joanna. Attend is going to be, for example, asistir a un lugar. All right, but in this case, I think that's according to your idea. Do you have any questions about this one, Joanna? Let me know, please.
Not sure.
Okay, thank you. And reader, I'm going to read yours. Reader, it says he will manage to enter the soccer team if he trains a lot. All right, and she will not be able to travel if she doesn't find her documents. Okay, good. Again, no observations. I think it's working good. Thank you very much, guys. Yes, it's all of you. Let's keep working. We have very little to do here, and I'm going to show you some variations. It means that will and be going to is one option, but in the result clause, you can use modals. All right, you can use modals. And this is the last thing we're going to practice, but this is going to be only speaking. Let's read about the variations, please. It's going to be the definition or the explanation plus the formula. And this is for you, please, Camila. Let's read this one, please, Camila.
We can use other modal instead of the future tense in that clause. Can, may, might, or should are the most common options. Formula: if plus simple present in affirmative or negative, plus a comma, plus a subject, plus a can, may, might, should in affirmative or negative.
Thank you, Camila. The next part is going to be for you. Let's divide the examples. No, the first two. That's going to be for you, please, Gilbert. Number 1 and number 2, please, Gilbert.
If I stay here, I may not be able to finish my task. I see still feeling bad. She can't go to her classes.
Thank you, Gilbert. And the last one is for you, please, Joanna. Number 3.
If they don't complete the assignment, they might find this course.
Okay, thank you. These two words, please, Joanna. This is going to be assignments.
Assignments.
Good. And this one like a fail.
Fail.
Fail. There you go. Thank you, Joanna. So, as you can see in these examples, you're using may, you're using can't, and you're using might. It means if you are not sure about the result, don't use will, don't use be going to. It's better if you use may or might, right? So if I stay here, I may do this, but I don't know. I may not do that, but I don't know. I might do this, but I don't know. I might not do this, but I don't know. Okay, so when you don't know, when you are not sure, don't use will, don't use be going to. It's better if you use may or might. If you want to give suggestions or recommendations, advice, you can use should, right? If you feel bad, you should go to the doctor. You should see the doctor. Okay, so recommendation, advice with should. And if you want to talk about ability, then use can't, as in the example there. right? If you finish now, you can play your guitar. Okay, that's it. If you finish now, you can play your guitar. So I'm giving you possibility or ability of something that you can do. So in that way, please, only speaking this time, let's start with you, please, Camila. Give me two ideas, one idea with may and one idea with should. What do you say using this structure, please?
If you cook dinner, you should go to sleep late. And the other one, it can be if you understand everything, you may be able to approve the assignment.
Okay, thank you, Camila. Yes, to pass or to approve, good. In that one then, Camila, I think it's great. I don't have any observations. Do you have any questions about this? This is the last part of this lesson. It's very short, very simple, but any questions or comments?
No, teacher, everything is clear.
All right, thank you, Camila. Now, Joanna, please. Joanna, give me one idea with might, okay? One idea with might and one idea with can, please. Using again this structure, Joanna. Remember, might is for possibility when you don't know, and can is for ability, something that you can do. What do you say?
If I don't understand this class, I can. Okay. I can't. I can't. Okay. I can't able to the assignment.
Or everything is good, just the last part. Solamente la última partecita nos falta. It's good. So if I don't understand right this class, very good. Comma, I can't. Now can't, if you use can, Joanna, can and be able to are the same. Son lo mismo. Es como repetir la misma palabra dos veces. So only one time. I can't. Yo no puedo. What can't you? ¿Qué no puedes?
I can't.
Joanna left. I hope that, yes, I think we're having some problems. But I'm going to be back to her. Let's wait just a second. Okay, it was good. I'm going to be back to her. But in the meantime, let's keep working. I think it's here. Let me finish. All right. So, Joanna, you're here. You were telling me.
The last part is I can do last part. Okay, pardon. The assignment.
The assignments.
Assignments. Okay.
Very good. Great. If I don't understand this lesson, I can't do or complete the assignments. Very well. That's a very good example, Joanna. One more, please, using might for possibility when you are not sure.
I made learn. Oh, okay.
What could it be? Remember, you're doing good. Ahí estarías haciendo la inversión, ¿verdad, Joanna? First, you're saying, I might, puede que yo, I might, puede que tú que, I might, What verb? ¿Qué acción? You're missing an action.
I might travel. Okay.
Good.
Travel.
I might travel. Puede que yo viaje. Ahora, ¿cuál es tu condición? You need a condition in present now, Joanna.
If I get the money
Great.
for travel.
Good. Very good. I might travel if I get the money to travel. En lugar de for, use to. All right. En lugar de for, tienes que usar to. Perfecto. I might travel if I get the money to do it, you can say. Puede que yo viaje si consigo el dinero para hacerlo. That's it, Joanna. Do you have any questions about this structure? Let me know, please.
No, teacher.
All right, great. And again, anytime you have questions, you have the conversations to ask. Thank you. Now, let me go up again. It was Joanna, now Gilbert. The same, please, Gilbert. The same models, Gilbert. One idea with can and one idea with might, please, using this structure.
If you don't finish your homework, you can't go to the park.
Very good. That's number one with can, correct. And now one with might, please.
If you stay here, you might not be able to get home on time.
Okay, so you stay here, right? If you stay here, comma, you might not be able to get home on time, right?
Yes.
Good, that's correct, Gilbert. So any questions about this structure? Let me know.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Gilbert. Now, Adriana, we're going to work with you, Adriana. This time, it's going to be with these two, Adriana, for you, with may and with should. So what do you say? Two examples using those two, please.
If we work until at 6 p.m., tomorrow we may have a free day.
In that first part, remember, if you use until, then you need the preposition at, right? If we work until 6 o'clock. One more time, please, the result, please, Adriana, to that one.
If we work until at 6 p.m., tomorrow we may have a free day.
Okay, tomorrow we may have a birthday. All right. What about number two, which should?
Should. Yeah, should.
Should is used for advice, for recommendations, right?
Recommendation. If she have a headache, she should have she should take a pills.
All right, good. Just two little corrections there, Adriana. Remember, she's going to be third person, so instead of she have, it's going to be she has. If she has a headache, she should take, instead of a pills, as pills is plural, only pills, right? She should take pills or some pills. That's it, Adriana. Do you have any questions or comments?
No, teacher.
All right, thank you very much. And let's keep going down below. Rodrigo, let's continue with you. The same two, please, Rodrigo, may and should.
If she goes to the party, she may meet new people.
Okay.
And if you drive the car, you should respect the traffic signals. It's correct.
Okay, yes, the traffic signals, traffic rules, but if you're talking about the signals that you see, right, with your eyes that tell you don't go to the left or something like that, yes, traffic signals. All right, great, Rodrigo. No observations. I think you use the structure very well. Do you have any questions about this topic? Let me know, please.
It is possible to use have.
In what case? How would you use have, for example, Rodrigo?
For example, or no, have is with will, correct? If I use like a verb.
If you use have, can be an auxiliary or present perfect, but it can be the verb. If you have a dog, all right, you will feel happier, all right, something like that. In the second part, in the models, Rodrigo, if you use have after may, it's possible that, but that would be like in past, right? A perfect model. But I don't know in which other way can you use have. If you use in those ways, it would mean that one, Rodrigo. But if it's not in those ways, I think it won't be possible.
Okay. Well, I think that have can be like a should, the same logic, but I think no. I don't know.
Okay, give me one example, please. I kind of get your idea. You want to use this one, just and again, this is for everybody, very shortly. You want to use the expression have to, right?
Yes.
Have to. All right. Have to is like obligation or like must. If that's the case, it's possible to use it, Rodrigo. If you feel like this, you have to go to the doctor. Yes, have to, must are also some models that you can use after this one. It wouldn't be future, all right? It's going to be considered only as present, all right? Present conditional, but it's possible to use it in a conditional, Rodrigo. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Then let's finish this one. Mauricio, let's read yours. And in this case, you're going to go back to might and can, please, Rodrigo. Or Mauricio, sorry. Can and might. 2 examples, please.
If she is outside in the park, she might drink a lot of water, and if I don't get up early, I can't be on time tomorrow.
Okay, correct. Again, any idea is possible, right? Using these models, Mauricio. I don't know if you have any questions because I don't have any observations. Let me know, please.
No, teacher.
All right, there you go. And that's going to be it. All right, again, this is future conditional. To keep it future, you can use these models, can, may, might, and should. Even it's possible to use must, all right? But if you choose to use, as Rodrigo was saying, have to, that it's also considered a verb-like model. It can work as a model. Rodrigo, as you were saying, have to can be a model instead of a verb. So you can use it. And you can say, if I stay here, if you stay here, you have to follow my rules, right? If you stay here, you have to follow my rules. You must follow my rules. So it's possible to use it because in this case, have to is not considered only a verb, it's considered a model verb or a verb-like model. All right, and that's it. We're going to finish. If you don't have any questions, that's the topic. All right, it's very simple. Here you have this practice, as always, 2 links in which you can practice this structure. But now we're going to do something interesting. I told you that the last thing we're going to do is watching a video because we'll have a practice. And this is mainly because of two things. First, because from now on, I'm going to show you videos about dates that are related to the United States mainly, or to English-speaking countries. Although this is celebrated in many countries, right? In Bolivia, in many countries in Latin America, which is Valentine's Day. But it's important to know about it because of general knowledge and because we want to practice listening, and also we're going to practice a little bit of writing. So please, I need you to do the following. This video is very short, 3 minutes and 32 minutes. Okay, we're going to spend this last time that we have watching this video. Then you're going to write everything that you understood about the video, but in at least 2 paragraphs minimum. We are going to read that together and we're going to have a conversation about it. All right, these 40 minutes, are going to be about it. Watching the video, very short, writing about the video, and then having a conversation about it. Let me know, please, if you have any questions. What you have to do, and just in case you forgot to, I'm going to just change the settings. So right here, you're not going to edit. Just for now, okay? Now, this is the rule. After watching the video, you're going to write your summary, okay? You're going to write your summary of the video in your own document, okay? You can open a Word document if you want. Rodrigo, Mauricio, Camila, Gilbert, Adriana, Joanna, all right? Like this. Just to be sure that everybody understands. You open your Word document, right? A new one, and here you start writing about the document or about the video. So you can say this video is about this, and that, and they are mentioning this and that. You can tell me the story like that, or you can directly tell the story, right? Valentine's Day is a day that is celebrated because of this and that. It happens due to the fact that blah, 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 blah. All right, a summary using 2 paragraphs minimum, and then you're going to copy and paste that one into the document, but I'm going to tell you when to do it. That's because I want to work, all right? I want you to work on your own, and then you're going to compare your answers to your partners. Okay, let me know, please, if you have any questions about it before starting. I'm going to ask just in case one by one, to be sure. So, Rodrigo, do you have any questions about this activity with the video? Let me know, please.
No, teacher, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Mauricio? Any questions about this activity?
No, teacher, everything okay.
Okay, thank you. Gilbert, what about you?
Why they understand the video?
Do you have any questions first? You have to watch the video, then you're going to open a Word document and you're going to write a summary of 2 paragraphs minimum in which you explain the video. All right?
Okay.
Great, thank you. Adriana, what do you say? Any questions about this activity?
No, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Joanna, do you have any questions about this activity with the video?
Not.
All right, thank you. And Camila, any questions or comments?
No, teacher, everything is clear.
Okay, thank you very much. And also, reader, I know that you cannot participate now, but you can pay attention there, write also what you have, reader, and then later on we're going to check with you. So let's go to the video. Again, it's very short, very, very short, but please pay attention, all right? Pay attention, because then you are going to write a summary. So here we go. This is the history of St. Valentine's Day.
2,000 years ago, the most powerful army in the world belonged to the Romans. The Romans were so strong that they conquered almost all of Europe and parts of Asia and Africa. But then they began to grow very rich and a little bit lazy. Life in the army was harsh, and many of the soldiers longed for the comforts of home. They wanted to get married and set up families. The emperor, whose name was Claudius II, grew worried that his army was growing soft, and so he made a law that no soldier was allowed to get married. By that time, many of the Romans were Christians, and one of their leaders was a bishop called Valentine. He believed that if a man and woman fell in love with each other, they should get married, and so he decided to let soldiers get married in his church, even though now it was against the law. The soldiers' weddings were meant to be kept secret, but as you know, all secrets are hard to keep, and soon the word got out. Valentine was arrested and brought before the emperor, who demanded that he stopped helping soldiers to marry, and instead that he prayed to the gods of Rome. When he refused, the emperor sentenced him to death. While Valentine was in prison, the jailer's daughter used to bring him his food. She was a young woman who was unfortunately blind. She and Valentine used to spend long hours talking to each other, and soon they fell in love. One day, Valentine put his hand through the bars of the cell and touched the lids of her closed eyes. When she opened them again, she could see. It was a miracle. Valentine's execution was set for the 14th of February. On his last night on earth, he wrote his final message to the girl. He signed his love letter, "From your Valentine." This took place in the year 270, and ever since, lovers have sent each other messages on February the 14th with the same signature.
All right, so that's it, all right? That's the video. Now, please, we're going to do the following. I am going to play it one more time in case you need to write some information, but if you finished, you can start writing, all right? You can start writing if you finish. But again, I'm going to play one more time. If you want, you can take notes, all right? Take notes of some important dates, of names, or some important information so that you can add it to your writing, right? One more time, here we go. And again, you can take notes, and then I'm going to give the next instruction. We're going to have a certain minutes to finish, and then I check only what you have, all right? It doesn't matter if it's less, I'm only going to check what you have. So here we go. One more time, and then I give the next instruction. Right, here we go.
2,000 years ago, the most powerful army in the world belonged to the Romans. The Romans were so strong that they conquered almost all of Europe and parts of Asia and Africa. But then they began to grow very rich and a little bit lazy. Life in the army was harsh, and many of the soldiers longed for the comforts of home. They wanted to get married and set up families. The emperor, whose name was Claudius II, grew worried that his army was growing soft, and so he made a law that no soldier was allowed to get married. By that time, many of the Romans were Christians, and one of their leaders was a bishop called Valentine. He believed that if a man and woman fell in love with each other, they should get married. And so he decided to let soldiers get married in his church, even though now it was against the law. The soldiers' weddings were meant to be kept secret. But as you know, all secrets are hard to keep, and soon the word got out. Valentine was arrested and brought before the emperor, who demanded that he stop helping soldiers to marry, and instead that he pray to the gods of Rome. When he refused, the emperor sentenced him to death. While Valentine was in prison, the jailer's daughter used to bring him his food. She was a young woman who was unfortunately blind. She and Valentine used to spend long hours talking to each other, and soon they fell in love. One day, Valentine put his hand through the bars of the cell and touched the lids of her closed eyes. When she opened them again, she could see. It was a miracle. Valentine's execution was set for the 14th of February. On his last night on earth, he wrote his final message to the girl. He signed his love letter, "From your Valentine." This took place in the year 270, and ever since, lovers have sent each other messages on February the 14th with the same signature.
All right, so that's it. Now, this is the thing we're going to do now, right? I'm going to go to a different web page over there and over there. It's okay. So now you are only going to have 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes. You don't have to, again, I said, right, minimum 2 paragraphs. But in order to be better organized, I'm only going to give you 5 minutes. Write as much as you can, all right? If you have the 2 paragraphs, very good. If you don't have the 2 paragraphs, it's okay, what you get. But as soon as the timer is over, all right, the 5 minutes, then you need to stop writing and you're going to copy and paste the information here. But now you cannot write here, right? Don't write here, you cannot do it here, it's deactivated. In order to write, you need to use a Word document. Okay, so one more time. I'm going to give you 5 minutes and you're going to write as much as you can about the video. Try to tell me that story, the most important elements, the most important characters, some dates if you remember. Again, the most important details about that video. And the last, okay, now using Spanish. En los 5 minutos sí o sí tenemos que copiar y pegar lo que hayan escrito en su documento. Ya, si ha sido 2 párrafos, 1 párrafo, una línea, no importa. Pero solamente eso voy a revisar. Ya, nuevamente, eso es para manejarnos mejor con el tiempo. Sé que a veces expando las cosas más, pero ahora para que podamos revisar de todos y estar tranquilos, solamente los 5 minutos. Y luego copian y pegan al documento que siempre tenemos para que revise uno por uno. All right, let's do it, please. Do you have any questions? Let me know. No? All right. So please, let's begin. Then we have 5 minutes to write as much as we can about this video. All right, Valentine's Day. And we start now. Let's start, please, guys.
Teacher. Teacher,
Yes, tell me, Adriana.
¿cómo era sacerdote? ¿O cómo se decía?
Okay, in this case, try to remember the word that you heard, Adriana. Then I'm going to show you all the words that you were not able to get. All right, in the way you can, try to write it. And at the end, I'm going to give you all that vocabulary. All right, just the way you wrote it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's time. ¿Ya? Ahora, no he ayudado, por ejemplo, a Adriana ya con esta cuestión. Es porque quiero que todos primero pongan ya todo lo que saben, con las palabras que saben y todo eso, en los documentos. Ya revisamos, vemos lo que tienen y ahí vamos a ver unas palabritas, incluyendo la que mencionó Adriana, que en este caso va a ser una posición diferente de esa persona de la iglesia. Parecido a eso, ¿no? Pero no exactamente. Y otros elementos, ¿ya? Que les voy a mostrar. Pero primero, nuevamente, quiero ver lo que ustedes han puesto, tal como ustedes han entendido. Y después vamos a esos puntos. So, let's check. All right, we're going to start. And this. So that it's fair, para que sea justo, we're going to play with this. All right. Why is it in Spanish? Come on. All right. Good. So I played this, and that person is going to copy and paste what he or she wrote in your document. All right, so it seems it's you, Gilbert. So please, Gilbert, only what you wrote, solamente lo que escribiste. Copy and paste that one here in the document over here. Okay, now it's activated, Gilbert. You can refresh the page, puedes actualizar la página, and then you can paste the information here. Let's do it, please, Gilbert, and you're going to paste it over here. Okay, let's do it one by one. Comencemos con Gilbert solamente. All right, so let's read that one, please, Gilbert.
2,000 years ago, the Roman conquered several continents, but the emperor, seeing that the soldiers were getting married and did not have the same interest.
Okay, thank you very much. Now let's check only that one, Gilbert. Thank you. So 2,000 years ago, right? That's not the subject. So you need comma, right? 2,000 years ago, comma, Romans, good, conquered several continents, very good. But the emperor, this is you call this parenthetical phrase. It's very good in between commas, great. Seeing that the soldiers were getting married and didn't have, right, the same interest, comma, and you continue with the next idea, right? So far, I think it's very good, Gilbert. If you want, you can continue as I'm checking your partners, and then we're going to check yours, all right? Try to finish that paragraph with extra information, and I go back to you, Gilbert, all right, later on. Thank you, Gilbert. Now, that's the first one, okay? That's the first part. We have some elements over there. Now, let's keep going. All right, it's you, Camila. The same, please, Camila. Let's paste the information that you wrote on your name, and we start checking that. Okay, very good. So let's read, please, what you got, Camila.
Sorry. 2,000 years ago, the Roman Empire was one of the most strong and rich. The soldiers that composed started to think that their life in the army was really hard. They wanted to leave the army to get married and have kids. When the Emperor Claudius II found out about what was happening, he decided to prohibit that his soldiers get married. Since the most of his soldiers were Christians, one of their leaders, a bishop called Valentine, wanted to help the soldiers. So he said that if a man and a woman fell in love with each other, they should get married. Valentine decided to let soldiers to get married in his church. When the emperor discovered what the bishop was doing, he arrested him and sentenced him to death. When he was in prison, the jailer's daughter was in the charge of giving him food. She was a young girl that was not able to see, but either way, after a long hours talking to Valentine, they fell in love. One night, the bishop touched the woman's face and she recovered the view. It was a miracle. The execution of Valentine was scheduled to the 14th of February.
Very good. Thank you very much, Camila. Great. I think you got right all the information that we need. But again, I know that it's something that you were writing. I'm going to give you some correction related to punctuation rules and some details, and we continue. All right. So again, right, 2,000 years ago, it's going to be the introductory phrase. So we're going to use a comma over there. The Roman Empire was one of the strong is a short adjective, right? So we're not going to say most strong, we're going to say the strongest, right? Exactly, right? The strongest and could be richest over here, right? Because both are short adjectives and you need the est at the end. Good. The soldiers that composed, what do you mean here that composed? Do you mean that they were part of the army?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to try to explain that detail. Here they want to say started, so the composed the Roman army, for example. All right, that's one idea, right? The Roman army start, but you are telling this idea in past already. It's better if you keep the same tense. So we're going to say started to think that. All right, started to think that. Life, because if you say the life, right, it's too general, but life is broad. You are talking about life as a perspective of living. So it's going to be only that life, all right? In the army was really hard. They wanted to, as you're using here infinitive, you need the base form, right? They wanted to live, perhaps. All right, to leave or to desert, to leave the army, to get married. Good. When the emperor, comma, good, he decided to prohibit or forbid. Perhaps also forbid could be good over here, but it's okay to say prohibit. His soldiers, right, because you're only going to say prohibit or forbid someone from doing something. all right? Then here, it's not going to be directly then the verb, you're going to use from, okay? So again, forbid or prohibit someone from doing something, all right? So it's missing the preposition. And of course, after prepositions, we always use gerunds. Then, one of the, yes. This is extra explanation between commas, wanted to help the soldiers. So he said, good. And again, this comma is correct, Camila, but again, this is optional. Remember, the semicolon, one of the semicolon functions says that with fanboys, you can use semicolon in case you are using commas, too many commas before and commas after that. In that case, it's better to use semicolon to have a better perspective of your two ideas. All right, so he said that if a man and a woman fell in love with each other, they, yes, and this is the second part, because this is a conditional. Good. So Valentine decided, after let, you have the same idea. It's the same structure. Let, object, and base form is going to be in this case. All right, so directly get. Not infinitive, it has to be the base form. With help, with let, directly the base form. With make, with have, also the base form. You only use infinitive when you use get before the object. Okay, get, object, and then infinitive. With the rest of them, it's going to be with the base form. Then, he arrested him when he was in prison. The jailers, if you're using here the possession, right, it's going to be missing the apostrophe. Good, but in the case, remember, of, then it's preposition, so you need gerund. All right, of giving me food. He was a girl. All right, sorry. Good. So one more time, this one. She was a young girl that was not able to see, but either way, after long hours talking to Valentine. Okay, so this seems the introduction to the next part. So it's going to be comma. But either way, after long hours talking to Valentine, all right, they fell in love. One night, the bishop, again, this is in past, so it's going to continue in past. This is only one, right? So it's going to be like that, right? The woman's face, she recovered the side. Instead of the view, it's better if you say the side. All right, like vista, the side. Good, this is extra information, but instead of that one, I would use the dash. I don't remember how to work with the M dash, but it's better if you work with the dash in English. It was a miracle. The execution of Valentine was scheduled to, all right, was due or happened directly on the 14th of February, right? This one over here. All right, yes, for the 14th of February, all right? And that's it, Camila. I don't know if you have any questions about those corrections or observations, Camila. Let me know, please.
No, teacher, everything's clear.
Great, thank you very much. Let's continue working, please. Again, you have some elements. Good, we are 9:10. It's a very good time. Let's continue. All right, it's you, Mauricio. Let's do the same, please, Mauricio. I'm going to delete this one. So, where is yours? You can copy and paste what you got over there and we check it together.
Teacher, I'm trying to copy, but I think my computer is so slow today.
All right, let's try one more time, please. If it's not working, you're going to try to read, but it will be important that you have it here. Try to refresh also the page, just in case, and try one more time, please. If not, at least reading is going to be.
Oh, okay, it works now.
There you go. So let's do the same, please, Mauricio. Let's read this information.
2,000 years ago, Romans, who had a lot of money and territory, started to be soft and lazy. They didn't want to fight anymore. Everybody started to get married, and it made the Roman emperor decide to forbid it. But a priest called Valentine was not in agreement with the emperor's idea, so he decided to marry the ones who love each other, but in secret. As every secret, it was discovered by the emperor, and he gave Valentine the opportunity to stop doing it, but Valentine rejected. Valentine was caught and
Great, until that part. Very good, Mauricio. So again, the details, but it was good. We are little by little adding more details. This information about being soft and lazy, I think, is very important, Mauricio. And again, everybody, right, you're giving something different. So 2,000 years ago, good. This is something I didn't mention in previous one, right? But for this one, we're going to use, as always, right, capital letter, like Bolivians, Romans, any type when you talk about nationality. We got a lot of money and territory. That's also very important. And we need to state here, good. In commas, right, in between commas, because this is extra information. That's not the main idea, right? Good. And because Romans is already a proper noun. Great, so started to be soft and lazy. Now, if you realize, Mauricio, that's your first big idea. The next part is not a aclaratory, it's a different idea. Even though it's related, it's another one. So, if you believe that they are connected, semicolon, right? They didn't want to fight anymore. And that's another comment. So you have two options here, Mauricio, one more time. Period, and go to the next part, or semicolon, right? One of those. Everybody started to get married, comma. Why? Because everybody is subject, verb, complement, and you have subject, verb, complement, right? That's why you need a comma over here. Here, the same, right? The Roman emperor decided to forbid it. Good. But a priest here, again, sometimes in CNN, BBC, you see this, and it's not like incorrect, but in very academic writing, mainly for this type of writing, it's better if you don't use but or and before periods. All right, it's better if you use, instead of at, additionally, besides, and instead of but, you can use however, nonetheless, and you have more options. All right, so here, because period is too strong for but, for fanboys, but, so, and, nor, okay, it's too strong for fanboys. With those ones, it's better to use comma or semicolon maximum, and if it's a different idea with a period, it's better to use transitions, okay? Transitions are however, nonetheless, thus, as a result, and so on and so forth. So, however, a priest called Valentine was not in agreement, all right, with the emperor's idea. So he decided, good, comma, to marry the ones who love each other. All right, but in secret. And this is extra information. Good. As every secret, it was discovered that here the same, right? Again, because subject verb complement and subject verb complement, so the comma. And he gave Valentine the opportunity to stop doing it, comma, because of that one. If you feel that you have too many commas before, again, this is like optional, but it will be the best idea. You can use a semicolon. But Valentine rejected, right? Valentine was caught, and then you can say, right, he was executed on the 14th of February. And that's it. I don't know if you have any questions about those observations, Mauricio.
Teacher, can you repeat this part? I will remark this part after a period. What kind of expression it should be?
Yes, you should use transitions, right? Transitional words or transitions. Those are words like this, however, which go after semicolons or periods, all right? And they need a comma afterwards. It's always going to be period or semicolon, however, comma. Period or semicolon, nonetheless, comma. Period or semicolon, additionally, comma. All right, you call those ones transition or transitional words. All right.
Okay.
Great. There you go. Thank you, Mauricio. Any other questions?
No, teacher.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's continue working, please. Rodrigo, it's you. The same, please, Rodrigo. Let's paste the information that you have so that we can check it. All right, let's read it, please, Rodrigo.
Valentine's Day started 2,000 years ago in memory of a man who tried to help the Roman soldiers who did not want to go to the war. The soldiers want to stay at home with their families and their wives. The emperor prohibited to church the marriages, but Valentine, who was a priest, tried to help them. He tried to do secret marriages. When the emperor heard this, he sentenced to Valentine to die. Before the execution, he met a woman with whom he talked and talked many hours. Both of them were in love. The day before of the execution, he sent a love letter to her. The next day, February 14, Valentine died, and this date was remembered like a signal of the love of Valentine.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Great, great. Again, in general, right, I wanted to see your level of comprehension, listening skills. I think so far it's working very good, all right? You have very interesting ideas. And as you can see, you are telling this in different ways, and it's really interesting. So let's keep working with the corrections, all right? We're going to try to work until 9:30 so that we have everything, all right? Valentine's Day started 2,000 years ago. Good. In memory, now this can be considered as extra, so it's not going to be wrong. But here, a man, remember relative clauses, adjective clauses, a man is any man. If you want to identify that man, Rodrigo, then you need an adjective clause, who tried to. But this is not optional. This is important and necessary to identify that man. So because of that, you don't need the comma, all right? Because we don't know what man we're talking about. Then try to help. Again, after help, you can use infinitive or base form, but again, here is going to be more related to this. Who didn't want to go to war, all right, directly to war. The soldiers want here, as you are again telling me this idea, all right, help Romans, this idea in past, is better if you want, if you keep this in past, all right? So the soldiers wanted to stay home or at home, okay? The emperor, remember, you prohibit or you forbid someone from doing something. So you don't need the preposition to, all right, in this case. Prohibits the marriages or churches from marrying, but directly the noun, what is being prohibited, all right, without any preposition to. But Valentine, who was a priest, or in this case, again, priest is like sacerdote, but in this case, this is something that Camila got it, right? A bishop. Bishop is like obispo, all right, a bishop. Who was a bishop, tried to help them. Good. This is one idea. The next one is another idea. So semicolon if they are connected. He tried to do secret marriages. All right. Heard this. He sentenced, here again, prepositions, all right? Sometimes you don't need the prepositions. And we're going to see also that one, all right? Sentence Valentine to die. Before, this is another idea, okay? You finish that one. Okay, because again, the logic is subject, verb, complement. Subject, verb, complement. Now, before the execution, good introductory phrase, he met a woman. Here again, remember adjective clauses, with whom, right? With whom? Because You are using a person that is the object of something. But he talked and talked for many hours, perhaps. Good. Both of them were in love. Good. Period. Very good. The day before the execution, comma, right? He sent a love letter to her. That's another idea. Okay. Don't be afraid to use a lot of periods in English. Before the execution, there is going to be the next day or next day directly if you want. Again, this can be optional. The next day on February 14th, this is extra explanation. Valentine died, comma, all right, because again, subject verb. And, all right, and this date was remembered as a signal, perhaps, of Valentine's love is better here. All right, that would be, and here we delete this one. Of Valentine's love. There you go. That would be it. Now here they want to, yes, but actually it's not obligatory. With help, again, you can use infinitive or parent, or sorry, infinitive or base. But that would be it, Rodrigo. Do you have any questions about those corrections or suggestions? Let me know, please.
Teacher, I have the question when is necessary to add the articles in general and propositions. That's my wrong.
Okay, in these cases, sentence, prohibit, actually is not because they are a type of verb. It's different for say and tell, all right? Sometimes it's because you have transitive and intransitive verbs, all right? You call them like that. With some transitive verbs, Rodrigo, you can understand it like that. You usually don't need a preposition, okay? Transitive verbs. What is a transitive verb? Is when you can put an object after a verb, okay? Read books. Read is a transitive verb. You don't need preposition, and you say directly books. Prohibit someone. Prohibit is a transitional verb, and after prohibit, you can use objects. But sometimes you have an intransitive verb, okay? Not transitional verbs or intransitive verbs. You can look after that, Rodrigo. And with non-transitive verbs or intransitive verbs, those are verbs that cannot be used with objects directly. And if you want to use them with objects, you have to use a preposition. All right, that's more or less the general rule, Rodrigo. As I said, that's a big lesson. I think that's something we're going to learn in the last courses, but mainly is that, if it's a transitive verb, no preposition. If it's an intransitive verb, you need a preposition to use it with objects. In this case, prohibit someone is transitive, and sentence someone is transitive in English, and it's different from Spanish, but that's more or less the explanation. I don't know if you have more or less the idea, because later on we're going to cover that
one. It's okay. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. And let's keep working, please. Again, at least until 9:30. So, John, let's get yours, please, John. Let's copy and paste what you got, and let's read it, please. Okay, you have it over there. Let's read that, please, now, John.
2,000 years ago, the Romans conquered many countries and received a lot of money, and they wanted to marry and meant Valentine, who was executed in February 14.
Okay, 14. Good. Only let's repeat these two words, please, Joanna. This is going to be conquered. Conquered.
Conquered.
Good. And executed.
Executed.
Great, thank you, Joanna. So good. You are the only one, right? You were brave to write the entire number, ¿no? Fuiste la única valiente para escribir el nombre del número. That's good. 2,000 years ago, that's another subject, right? So, comma. 2,000 years ago, comma, the Romans, right? We're going to use this one again. The Romans conquered many countries and received a lot of money. Good. Now, it's better if you use only once and. So they conquered many countries and received a lot of money. Okay, semicolon. Instead of and, I would use another one. Also, okay, why? Porque si usas mucho and, en gramática se va a considerar incorrecto. Instead of and, you can use also. Puedes usar also. Y also, como transitional verb, como transitional word, se lo usa después de un semicolon. Okay, so semicolon, also, comma, they wanted to marry. Good. And here you can say periods because we used that one. Okay. So a man named Valentine, who was, so this is the name of the man. Este es el nombre del hombre, entonces quiere decir que es un nombre propio. Y si tienes nombres propios, es opcional la explicación siguiente. Who was executed on February with capital letter 14th and blah, 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 right? You can continue writing this one, Joanna, and next class we can check it. But do you have any questions about this one so far?
No, teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. And finally, the last one is you, Adriana, right? So let's go to you, please, Adriana. Show me what you got. Read that one and we finish with you.
This video is about the Day of Valentine. 2,000 years ago, the Romans controlled the world, Asia, Europe, Africa. They were very rich, but they wanted to go to the house and marry. But Claudio, who was emperor, forbade the marriage. Valentine made weddings in secret, but Claudio knew the truth, so he ordered kill to Valentine. So a woman visited to Valentine every day. She can see the last day of Valentine. He puts your hands on eyes of the woman, so she can see. And the last letter of Valentine he wrote to the woman, and he sing with a symbol. Now we celebrate San Valentine.
Thank you very much, Adriana. Great. Again, in general, I think all of you got at least, right, the main ideas over there, and it's very good. So let's check this quickly. And next class, if it's missing a yours reader, right, you cannot read now, but I would like you to read. So next class, would you please, reader, you're going to read your writing exercise and we check yours, all right? But let me finish then with Adriana. This video is about the Day of Valentine. That's one complete idea, Adriana, so period. 2,000 years ago, that's introduction phrase. That's not the subject, comma. The Romans controlled the world. And here you use colon. Why? Because you are giving a list of items that describe the world. So the world, colon, Asia, Europe, and Africa, you can say. All right, of course, not the entire continent, but that, period. All right, why? Because it's another idea, another complete idea. They were very rich, but they wanted to go to their home, perhaps, or something like that. Okay, instead of the house, their home could be, and marry. Okay, here you can add, right, and marry the women they loved. Comma. But Claudius, right, it's a little bit different, the writing, it doesn't matter. Claudio is a proper noun. After proper nouns, who is not obligatory, so it's optional with comma. Claudio, who was the emperor, all right, forbade the marriages. Okay, Valentine made weddings in secret, but Claudio knew the truth. All right, so comma. all right? So he ordered, as you're telling this in past, it's better to keep it in past. Ordered to kill Valentine. All right, ordered to kill Valentine. So you're using so 2 times, so that's not good. Here you're going to say like that, only like that. All right, in singular, a woman with a woman visited to Valentine, all right, or visited Valentine. This one is just like that. And again, as I said to Rodrigo, remember, transitive or intransitive verb, you visit someone, you don't visit to someone. Visited Valentine every day. That's another complete idea, period or semicolon. She couldn't see, right? Again, because you're telling this in past. She couldn't see. Last day of Valentine, all right? Again, that's another complete idea. If you feel that they are connected, semicolon. The last day of Valentine, all right? Comma, he put his, right? Because of the possessive. He put his hand on the woman's eyes. All right, his hand on the woman's eyes. Okay, that possession is always better in English. The woman's eyes, the father's office. So she, here, you don't use so that. Here you don't need punctuation mark when you use so that. So that she, this is past again, so could. She could see. And this is another complete idea. So you can say, finally, all right, the last letter or the last Valentine's letter, it's better if you use the other way, all right? Valentine's letter, the woman's eyes, etc. He wrote, right? He wrote something to the woman, right? And, comma, because subject, verb, complement, comma, and subject, verb, complement. And again, this is still past, right? Signed with a symbol, with a signature could be, or. All right, now again, this is another complete idea, period. Now, and again, this is not the subject, so comma. Now we celebrate Saint, okay, with capital letter, Valentine. Or in English, instead of Saint Valentine, they are going to call it more like Valentine's Day. And that will be it here, because that is not necessary, all right? And yes, here, true. Sorry, I didn't see that one. True is adjective. Truth with TH is the noun, la verdad. True with E is verdadero. All right, and that will be it, Adriana. Do you have any questions? Let me know, please.
No, teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. So, thanks for participating, all right, today. I know we spent more time than we needed, but it's important to work your listening skills and your writing skills. Please, so reader with you, you're going to read the next class, what you got, and I'm going to work on the correction at the beginning of the class. Okay, that's it now for today, guys. Thank you for your patience. As always, I'm going to ask you to fill out today's document, and that's it. Have a good night and see you tomorrow in the conversation, please. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, teacher.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
See you.
teacher.